Hi guys, welcome back. All right, Ophiuchus, here we go. Let's get into this. I'm going to ask, what is the central topic here? We have a Page of Wands in the reverse and a Knight of Cups in the reverse. So, by the way, Ophiuchus, I'm sorry, you guys are just now getting this one. I tried to get to you yesterday. There were just 3 zodiacs. I didn't have enough more hours in the day to get to. So, um, you guys got rolled over into Monday morning. So, we've got this energy, though, of I'm going to say not disillusionment, but certainly with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Cups, both in the reverse, there's a stopped energy. There's a lack of flow forward. There's a lack of love offer coming in. There's a lack of passion. So I'm wondering if Fucus is in a place where they're like, yeah, I'm not interested. That's what this feels like. It's full stop. Page of Cups, give me something else. Give me some new love. I don't want to move towards something from the past. I don't want to receive a message from anybody else. I'd like to meet somebody new. However, this can also be a card of an apology coming in. Either this is one of two things. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, we definitely have a relationship or an energy between two people where once upon a time there was a spark of flirtation and passion. Once upon a time there was somebody that was like going to try to move toward Ophiuchus, or Ophiuchus was going to move toward them with interest, and all that has come to a screeching halt. There's a desire for something new instead of dealing with this thing in the past. But I have to say, we have this feminine who's like fleeing this big ice cold mansion. I think Ophiuchus is done with somebody. They're dodging. They don't want to deal with something anymore. Maybe because they didn't like the way they were treated. Maybe Ophiuchus was interested in this person, would have put some real effort in, and then they saw some trait or some behavioral thing that they didn't like, and they're like, wow, I've never seen somebody so cold. Never mind, I'm out. Now here's the thing. If that is the case, then this Ophiuchus really knows exactly why they're done with something. They like, what do you mean? It's ice cold. I don't want to deal with ice cold. I want to go someplace where it's warm. I'd rather meet somebody else that I can connect with better. But this card still concerns me because, not concerns, but this character may know that Ophiuchus is done with them and they would like to apologize for some ice cold behavior. 2 of Swords. I don't think Ophiuchus wants to hear this. This looks like Ophiuchus has just blocked that, not dealing with it, not interested in it. No, thank you. Don't call, don't text. I'm done. Total blockage. What's crossing this? We got the 7 of Pentacles. This is like Ophiuchus said, I gave it enough time. This is not the situation I want to be in. What's underneath it all? We've got oneness. We got the 10 of Wands. So I think Ophiuchus gave this plenty of energy, but they're like, I want somebody that I share the same values with. I don't want somebody who makes me feel cold, and I don't feel guilty about this. That's what life is all about. You look, you meet, you try, you see. If it doesn't fit with you, you don't have to be, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, I feel so horrible. No, it just doesn't work for me. I don't have to feel guilty about this. I can move on, because ultimately you need somebody that fits you better than I do, and I need somebody who fits me better than you do. That's just like adult normal life, right? Not everything has to be a big tragedy, even if it kind of sucks, and even if it got uncomfortable, or it left because it's like, oh, I don't like this. It still doesn't have to be it shouldn't be a big drama, because in the adult world we don't always get what we want, right? Whoever this person is that Ophiuchus really tried with, they really have no business being miffed or anything. And Ophiuchus certainly doesn't have to feel guilty simply because they're like, no, I don't want this. That's, everybody has to learn how to gracefully accept other people's decisions about what they personally do and do not want. And so I love the fact that deep down Ophiuchus is like, yeah, I'm not going to stress out over this. I'm done with it, is all it is. What happened in the past? Synchronicity. It felt really special. It felt like Ophiuchus, like maybe it was crazy the way Ophiuchus and this person met. We have 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. This could have been, they met on a day that was a really tough day for either Ophiuchus or the other person. Maybe Ophiuchus met this person like right as they they ended some other relationship and they thought in their head, you know what, I'm excited to meet the next person. And then bam, they meet this person and start dating them. It could have been like a very sudden thing. And it felt like, well, this is so crazy and so perfect. And so, I can't believe this just happened. But sometimes, even if something happens that feels like, wow, this must have been divinely meant to be, that doesn't mean, say it is divinely meant to be, but say it's divinely meant for a divine lesson, not necessarily because it's like, oh, wow, this is my forever person. Maybe these two were supposed to spend a little time together, Ophiuchus and this character, in order for the next chapter of life on Five of Swords. This could have been a lesson in, divinely guided to meet somebody, so that then that next lesson would be how to like gracefully let something go. It doesn't have to be like with anger, and maybe that's just it. I don't see anger here for Ophiuchus either. I see this only as like, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. And it's this isn't warming my heart. So no, we're not good for each other because this isn't, my soul says this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Maybe just getting to the point of being able to like say that without it having to be an angry, painful, harsh words kind of situation. Or sadly, this could even be that in the past, even though it felt really serendipitous when Ophiuchus initially met this person, they discovered that this person has this attitude where they tend to get, because this can be rude and harsh words, they want to win. If that was the lesson, it's like, whoa, do I accept this? No, I don't. Even if somebody's a great person, if they have an acid tongue and they always want to win, no, I don't want that. And that could have been Ophiuchus's lesson, is how to exit stage left when there's something that they don't want. So maybe the divine guidance of Ophiuchus meeting this person was more for the divine lesson that needed to play out. What's the crowning thought? Action of Cups, sideways. This is, I feel like this is an Ophiuchus that wants warmth, that wants growth, that wants, especially when it comes to love, when it comes to romance, when it comes to emotions, they want it to be a two-way street. They want it to be softer. They want it to be gentler. Remember, Ophiuchus started out with that same, the Knight or the Action of Cups in the reverse. Ophiuchus said, I'm not getting the soft and the gentle vibe here. Instead, maybe Ophiuchus realized they were getting a whole lot of stubborn energy. And I think they finally realized, I don't want that. I don't want the caustic barbs back and forth. I don't want to talk to my partner that way. I want softer. And there's nothing here to say that the person Ophiuchus maybe dealt with is some terrible person. Not at all. And I don't think Ophiuchus is trying to paint them in a terrible way. I just think Ophiuchus has come to realize they want a two-way street of more gentleness, especially when it comes to romance. I think they're like, hey, I just want to be handled with more care. I just want to be handled a little softer. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Star in the reverse. Again, with that higher perspective, it boils it down to say, my wish fulfillment is not to have argument. In fact, I want there to not be a bunch of battles. I don't want a partner maybe that's at long distance and I'm always cold because they're never beside me at night. And then when we do talk, it's I don't know, maybe somebody had like a snarky sense of humor or something. And Ophiuchus was just like, I don't want to do the distance combined with the snarky sense of humor. I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't want a partner to feel like an adversary. And I want to be near someone. I feel like with that Star in the reverse, they want somebody to be near, not to always be far away. Or certainly for two people to make plans, mutual effort to see each other. Because I think this could have been a long distance relationship, and Ophiuchus was the one who had been doing all the travel, and they're finally like, I'm not going to keep doing the traveling. This feels like, I don't want to do this. Go travel, and then I get to see them. And maybe this person was really high power. Maybe they had a very busy life, and maybe when Ophiuchus would come visit them, they would still be like gone all the time. Or, oh, sorry, unexpected work trip, but you can stay in the mansion while I'm gone. I don't think if money will sway this Ophiuchus. I don't think that they're impressed. Here in Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. Um, I don't think that their Ophiuchus is impressed with someone who's gone a lot, even if they're, they've got a lot of money and things like that. I think Ophiuchus wants closeness, and they definitely, it's a very clear vision. They want something softer, not adversarial. It's in the upcoming future because this Ophiuchus seems pretty content with their choice. Okay, so this does not mean that Ophiuchus wasn't dealing with a really strong person in the past. They probably were. They could have been dealing with somebody that was like a mover shaker, but ultimately they weren't around enough. They weren't warm enough. They weren't soft enough. I'm picturing somebody that's like from Ophiuchus's past, the one that they're done with. I'm picturing them having been a person who was like, maybe I'm thinking of like the Wall Street, like really high energy, really just intense, maybe, and very focused and very driven, and that's not necessarily what Ophiuchus wants. They want somebody high power, but high power in a different way. So the emperor oversees his empire, but you notice that they want their mate to lead right beside them. That's why we have the king and the queen of the jungle right here, the lion and his lioness. I think Ophiuchus in their upcoming future, they're going to be matching with a different kind of, we'll say, like alpha partner. They want a strong partner. They admire that. They like that, but they want a partner who is their equal match instead of a partner that is, I don't know, this didn't feel like an equal partnership. This felt like a more stressful connection. And I think Ophiuchus knew that what they really are wanting is to have a partner that is maybe still a leader and a protector and all of that, but definitely rules with Ophiuchus by their side. They want this kind of connection instead of this. Instead of, a five of wands where there's lots of arguing and there's lots of like Ophiuchus wants growth, yes, but they want to maybe sit down and talk about differences and really have open dialogue and really be able to be on the same page with a partner who cares equally about the thoughts that Ophiuchus has on how best to solve a problem, instead of being somebody who's like, well, this is how it is, this is my way. Remember in the past, Ophiuchus definitely had somebody that was, they might have even wanted Ophiuchus to live with them or something in the past, but it was always on their terms. We'll sell your house and just move in here. Ophiuchus might not have been down with that because they're like, well, that's not really the full resolution. And then the other person was like, well, I'm offering you something great. It could have been that whomever was in the past, they weren't a collaborator. They were the person who would say, well, this is how it is. Just do it my way because I already came up with this great plan. Ophiuchus just, hop on board with my plan. This says what Ophiuchus wants and what is coming in for them in the future is someone who plans with Ophiuchus, someone where Ophiuchus is a part of the day-to-day. And this also says they have, coffee every morning together. This is somebody who they're just as driven, but in a different way, if that makes sense. They're just as driven, but a little bit maybe calmer, maybe a little older than that previous person was that we've been talking about. Maybe somebody who's learned how to pattern their life a little bit better so that they can connect better with a partnership. All of this says what Ophiuchus didn't want was to feel in the cold, even if there was tons of money, but the partner's never home. And when they are home, they are not really maybe seeing Ophiuchus. Instead, what Ophiuchus wanted and what they're getting, what they're calling in for themselves, is the exact opposite, which is really, really nice to see. Do we have any final message on this one? We've got a 10 of Pentacles. It's actually in the reverse. Let me get one more here. Nine of Cups upright. Yeah, I think if anything, this doesn't mean that this Emperor person, and it doesn't have to be a masculine and it doesn't have to be an Aries, but that is kind of what it appears that Ophiuchus ends up with in the future. But it's funny because it doesn't mean that this Emperor is like codependent. But I will say this: Ophiuchus wants to match with somebody where that song, When Something Is Wrong with My Baby, Something Is Wrong with Me, I think the version I'm thinking of is by Linda Ronstadt and Aaron Neville. I think if you just want a person, a mate that feels like that, like I can't be at peace and be happy unless I know my partner's good too. Like they really care about Ophiuchus. If something's wrong with you, something's wrong with me. When you're happy, I'm happy. It's really important that we're both satisfied as independent people, as well as being able to be happy together. So if we're out of sync, we need to get back in sync. We need to say, hey babe, what's going on? Where's your unhappiness at? You got to get that happy back. So then we're both in sync. Because if you're unhappy, it's making me unhappy, because I need us to be good. We're a team. Both of us have to be on the page of collaboration. And I think that is the key to what Ophiuchus wanted. They wanted a partner who cares about their happiness. And I do not see that the person from the past felt that way. The person from the past was like, what do you mean? I made a great decision. I made you a great offer. That should be enough. So I'm got a lot for work. That's how I can afford the mansion. And it's like, but I wanted to see you. I don't care about the mansion. I feel like that's what the situation was in the past. This Ophiuchus really wanted what I would say they wanted partnership, not just like someone who that person from the past looks like they were a great provider in a lot of ways. They had a lot to offer, but maybe not the emotional component and the side by side, shoulder to shoulder partnership. So again, it's not to vilify that person from the past. It's that would maybe work beautifully for someone else. It's just that's not what this particular Ophiuchus character wanted for themselves. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I will see you again this week a couple times. So lots of love and thanks again. Bye.